afternoon, everyone. I'm going to teach this lesson today in math on picture graphs. So if you don't have your book, you need to get your math book and look at page 697. Okay? So what we're going to do today is learn about picture graphs. And you guys have used picture graphs in my class before. So hopefully this is going to be a very easy review for you. As you can see, I have drawn two picture graphs on my board that are actually on page 697 in your math book. Okay, so the title of this lesson is Draw Scaled Picture Graphs. I'm going to explain what that means in a second. But right now we're going to look at example number 1. It says 15 students drew pictures of their favorite fruits on sticky notes. Their responses are shown in the picture graph. How can this data be displayed in a picture graph? Okay, so on this first picture graph we have here on the board, I didn't draw the shape of the fruit because it's just easier to draw circles. So my circles represent what they have on your chart here, okay, the actual fruit. All right, so we can see just by looking at this that 6 students like bananas, 4 students like oranges, 2 students like strawberries, and 3 liked apples. So each picture represents 1 student. Okay, so that gets me to this over here when it says scaled picture graphs. What does that mean if it's a scaled picture graph? It means that one picture is going to represent something that's more than one, whether it's the students or animals or whatever they're asking you about. Okay, I want to point out that all of your picture graphs are going to have a title. So this one is titled Favorite Fruits, and this one is titled Favorite Fruits, and they give us the same information and data that was collected by the teacher. However, it's displayed in 2 different ways. All right, so on this picture graph we have each circle representing 1 student, but over here this is what we call a scaled picture graph. It means that each one of these pictures represents more than 1 student. Okay, and how do we know how many they represent? Well, you have to look at the key at the bottom and it's going to tell you. So for bananas up here, each circle represents 2 students. So I'm going to count 2, 4, 6. So 6 students like bananas. That's the same thing that you can see over here. Okay, it's the same as what was on this picture graph. It's not a scaled picture graph. They're just using 1 circle for each student. However, over here, look at the key. The picture is representing 2 students. So I'm going to count by 2s every time I count the pictures. 2, 4, so 4 students like oranges. Same over here. You see how these match up? All right. 2 students like strawberries. I'm counting by 2s. 2 over here. And now, what does it mean when I have a half a picture? Okay, well, you have to cut the amount in half. So, what's half of 2? Well, half of 2 is 1. So this 2 students, this whole circle represents 2 students that like apples, and then this is a half of 1, so that's going to be a total of 3 students. All right, same over here. So scaled means that each circle or drawing is going to represent more, and you can find out how many students were surveyed or asked a question by adding up all of their responses. So for example, I could just add these up, and this is 10, so 15 students. Of course, they told you that in the problem already. So that's all you're really going to do with these picture graphs. You're going to, like we did yesterday in our lesson, we used 1 tally chart or 1 frequency chart to record the information on the other chart we were using. So we're going to, this In number 3, that's number 2. In number 2, we have a frequency table. We're going to change this frequency table into a picture graph by using the key on the bottom. So for example, this says that 6 students sold sports balls on Saturday. So we're going to draw 3 circles to equal, because the key says we have 1 circle will equal 2 balls. So if 6 did it, we're going to need 3 pictures right here. That's all you're going to do. All right, make sure you use the key. That's what's considered a scaled picture graph. You're going to do all the problems on page 699 and 700. Okay, send me an email if you have any questions about this. But we've done this type of thing before. I'm sure it's just going to be a great review. All right, I'll see you for the next math lesson. See you later. Bye.